Go on, talk to me.
Well, we've spoke about it previously before, haven't we? But I don't know about you, but I want something I can hang my hat on at some point and be like, yeah, I was the best at that. And
yep.
There's always been a connection with myself in Australia. I've obviously seen you do it and followed that pretty closely. And like when I saw Robbie do the US, I thought when I was watching at the time, I was like, fuck, I'd never do that. And then comes a time where I'm just like, it gets in my head and I'm like, oh, I do want it. And for me, it seems the most feasible in terms of it's already what I know, and I've been around the block a few times where I have some confidence in how I do this shit already, and yeah, there's a feasibility there, and I've always loved Australia. The most interesting thing for me about it, from looking at a route perspective wise, is there's 10,000 meters a gain, or 32,000 feet, which is only slightly more than I did for Moab over 240 miles.
So how far are we? What's 30 what days?
Well, it's obviously currently 39, and there's the sick part of me that I don't want to beat it by a day or a few hours. I want to do it in 35 something.
Sick. I love it.
I don't know if I need to do like an official thing with Guinness if I'm going to go for the world record. I don't really give a fuck about the actual the officialness of it. I just want to say it, and that sounds like hard work. I don't like hard work that doesn't involve just going forwards.
But I think it's actually a waste of, because your priority isn't in the, hey, look at me.
Yeah.
It's the, hey, this opportunity's here and I'm going to go and take it.
Yeah.
And I can, and deep down, you don't need to have that
plaque on the wall,
like certificate to say, it's not like, right? I just would think about that in let's try not to make it as effortless for you as possible.
Yeah.
So it's not consumed. But yes, there's an element you have to make sure that, I think the live streaming is an important thing.
It was a very insightful chat with Nedd. I've always liked the guy from seeing him at the beginning, back when he was an electrician or a plumber, I can't remember which, but I remember watching him when he was doing his 50 marathons in 50 days. And then I think he was the same age as me when I did the UK as when he ran across Australia. And he's a bit of a cowboy like me, he just goes and does stuff. We have a similar mindset where we don't need to ask too many questions. We just have the naivety, which is, I think, a superpower in this kind of world, to just fucking go and do it. So it was great to chat to him and get some knowledge. And he keeps trying to downplay it. It was like, I don't think it gave you much, mate. And I'm like, no, you gave me loads.
Yeah, you did.
Even knowing that someone went the other way in 37 days, not that I want to do that, but if I didn't know that, then I might have, who knows, I might have done it in 37 days, and then it would have been like, well, you're not the overall fastest over the country both ways, so yeah. This is hard. It's always hard. I do expect it. It's nothing to be shocked by. My glutes feel weak. Because I've done that before, haven't I? With fights. I've never done it with less. That's probably the best one, yeah.
Yeah. That went up a couple notches.
Yeah, and I felt more controlled and everything.
You are. Try to tell me anything close that I know what it was. But since I can't see no love, but I know that's not what it was.
Put 'em up, put 'em up. And I was thinking about it, the only issues I seem to get from carbon plates is usually because it's such an aggressive shoe that the upper just messes my toes up a bit in terms of like blistering.
Yeah.
But other than that, I feel like my feet feel fine, so I'm just going to try and wear them more, even for like easy runs, not all the time, but just see even with the increase in mileage if it like affects anything. Lovely. Alright, we're at the V&A and we're going over to INEOS Grenadiers headquarters over here. Shout out Sam. We're going to go pick up a Grenadier. We're also going to do like go around some of the 4x4 track, which Sam actually specifically said he was jealous that we're going to do, so I'm excited, man. I really am. I want to see what we got.
When we have this as a retail model, you'll be able to either go right through or loop back.
Okay.
But the whole idea is that, as I said, you want to test a vehicle's capability here in the heart of the city.
Yeah.
You know, beneath the Table Mountain. But then also we're going to have not expeditions, which we already have, but excursions out into the winelands, partnering with the helicopter companies. Yeah. So this would fly to Delair Estate, for instance, and then there'd be Grenadiers there, and then or to the Atlantis Dunes, and you can go and have a whole lot of fun dune bashing there.
I fear I won't be using it.
Thanks, Rob. Rob, Will, and Dean.
Good.
So this is the roll and the pitch. You'll see now the third obstacle.
Yeah.
The roll of the vehicle. So this vehicle can go onto a slope of 28 degrees.
Yeah.
And you'll see now why they say that.
Okay. So grippy.
You feel?
Yeah.
No, not even accelerating that hard. So when you fall down, it'll feel like the car's gonna go, but it's got the interlocking braking system, which regulates the speed. So I'm gonna take my foot off the brake, and you'll see the car brakes on its own.
Missed you. We know your cousin from, well, actually we got her from Cali, didn't we? But we dropped her in Denver.
Yeah, we took her for a ride.
We did take her for a ride. She was great. But we're at, I would arguably say my favourite lunch spot. We've wrapped up Naked to my favourite breakfast spot. This is my favourite lunch spot. It's called Between Us. It's run by two twin sisters. I met them a couple of years ago with a friend of mine who spends a lot of time in here summer as well. And everything is just fresh as, delicious. And when I was here a couple of weeks ago, I asked them where they got their produce from. And they get it from like a farm in Howe Bay that apparently we can go to as well. So we'll definitely check that out. But everything's so fresh, so delicious. I haven't had the meatballs, but they look fucking sick. And I've got a chicken pie, some wedges, and I've got some aioli coming, but let's cut it open. Oh, I love a pie. Oh, I can already tell. Hopefully I don't burn my entire face off tasting it, but... Oh, thank you so much. It is hot, but that's spot on. I don't need any salt on that, any pepper, and you can even tell by the sound, like, it's herby, it's got good dressing on it.
No, mas every picture of this one. This one I feel it.
Aussie in the ride.
Aussie on the ride.
Aussie in the
Hey,
ride.
this one.
Go on, lean out the window like a gangster. Yeah, the boss. This is going to be your new profile picture on Tinder.
Yes. Wow. I must be outside
suits you,
now.
right?
I must be outside. This one.
This morning is an exciting morning. We're going to do VO2 Max Testing and a bunch of other stuff. I can't actually remember what I signed up for, but I basically told the guys at the Sports Science Institute what I was doing, and I was just like, anything that's going to be worthwhile doing, we'll do. So we're going to be there for 2 hours. I'm really excited about it. I've done some of these tests before, but never as like part of a block, so you might just say they're kind of a waste of time, like whatever, blow some smoke up my ass to see what my VO2 max was. But for this, we're gonna test it now, and I think you can do it every 4 to 6 weeks. So the idea will be, we'll do it now, we'll do it pre-Japan, and then we'll do it pre-Australia, and just see how well the blockers tune me up for what I'm about to do. So yeah, I'm really excited about getting there, seeing what I'm made of today, and then also just fucking locking in so hard between now, Japan and Australia, of course, and yeah, seeing what that means for tests and actually having some data to go by rather than just like times and how I feel.
You breathe in for me. Okay, step away.
189?
Yeah, pretty much. Just shy of 190 actually, 189.7.
Shit, I'm tall.
Yeah. 88.9.
Big bones. Probably that ice cream and fucking steak last night. Probably sort of sat in me.
Cool, so step one, we'll do body composition. We just use some skin folds to do that. And obviously we did the height and weight just now.
Yeah.
And then just a nice way of getting an idea of where that's at. Then the first part is the lactate accumulation test.
Yeah.
So that is probably around 30 to 40 minutes of running,
Yeah.
and it's progressively increasing in stage sort of pace.
Yeah.
So it'll be 4 minutes where you run at a pretty comfortable pace to start, and then every 4 minutes it'll go up 1 kilometer an hour.
Yeah.
And then you do that for the next 4 minutes.
Okay.
And we go and go and go and go. And the idea is to try and get a nice snapshot of your lactate curve.
Yeah.
So it's going to start very gentle, and then it will go to, you're working hard, but it's not a completely sort of digging very deep like you would in your VO2 Max test. If we want to just get to the point just beyond where the lactate clearance can no longer keep up with your lactate production. So essentially lactate's going up above that traditional lactate threshold. And you're going to point to rate your perceived exertion. So 6 and 7 being very, very gentle, and then that being complete exhaustion. Yeah, we usually say somewhere around here is where we'll likely end. It can vary depending on the person, because obviously this is how you're feeling today. If you're feeling a bit smashed, then you might be rating a little bit here, but we still need to get you to the point where lactate is rapidly increasing. Interesting. So you jumped between 16 and 17 k's an hour. You jumped 1.4 millimole, and then 17 to 18 you only jumped 0.5 to 3.9. But I suspect if you're carrying a bit of fatigue, you're probably finding that peak lactate value. So I suspect, similar to the guy I tested 2 days ago actually, I think the peak lactate value won't be very high, maybe just with a bit of fatigue. But we still got the nice curve point, and I think it still reflects nicely where some thresholds are. And I reckon you can probably do a 2:45 marathon potentially. So I mean, with this one, I do think you could have carried on a little longer. Yeah, I could have physically, but it's not really necessary because we don't need to see those peak values, and it's going to be very each of those speeds gets exponentially harder, because obviously it's going 1k an hour. So then your next one, when you finished at 18, your next one would have been in like 310, and then 3 minutes a k. To hold that for 4 minutes is shifting, especially after all the stuff you've done before. So yeah, we'll have to do that next. Second shot, 20 minutes, super pretty accurate.
Oh, it's mac and cheese.
Just some food.
Thought it was chicken.
Basically, butternut caramelized onion feta.
That's testing done. Should get the results back tonight or tomorrow. It was good. It was fucking hard. It was just exactly what it needs to be. There's always that part of you that when you come off, you're like, around 5 more seconds. But I did push pretty hard, and the body's a little bit taxed from recent training, but it's cool and interesting to do that. You took like the skin things, so I guess it'll give me like a body fat percentage alongside weight and height, and then the VO2 Max lactate threshold. And yeah, we'll go back and do it probably a couple more times before Australia starts, but it's good to have real data to go from and see how I'm improving over these next. Wait, when do we start?
Yes.
12 weeks. Sick.
You were the American.
And the food is great. That is crap.
It's like Ripple.
Oh my god. Alright, so the big one of 2025, we've spoke about Japan as the warm-up. But April, I'm gonna be shooting for the record running from west to east across Australia, so starting in Perth, Western Australia, specifically at Scarborough Beach, because that as a place for me has meaning. The first place I went to Australia when I was 11, we stayed at the hotel just by the beach with my mum and dad and my brother. So that has some sentimental meaning there. And then we'll be crossing the country, boxing kangaroos, fucking stiff-arming sharks if they try and from out of the water. Going across the country and finishing it at the iconic Bondi Beach in Sydney, another place I've been to. I went on my first time there. So I'm incredibly excited about it. So that's 2,300 miles. The current record is 39 days. The guy did just over 100 kilometers a day, so it's a serious one to be getting involved in. But on the back of Australia and sort of towards the end of that journey, I was doing days of 100k, 110, and I think I can sustain that. So I'm shooting to do it in 35 days. There's also a record in talking to Nedd Brockman. There's also a record that goes from east to west, so Sydney to Perth, and someone did it recently in 37 days. So yeah, I'm basically going for the overall one. So I'm going to be shooting for 108 kilometers a day, which is 67 miles, which is loads. Unlike America, it's obviously a lot shorter distance. That was 3,000 miles, so like 5,000k. So it's less, but I'm going to be going a lot more aggressively. In a both potentially positive way, but also potentially negative way, there's basically no elevation gain. And by no elevation gain, I mean over the entire country, there is about the same elevation as there was in my 240 mile race in Moa. So that was, I think, 32,000 feet, and Australia is basically the same, but 11 times further. So that's interesting in its own right, and you might hear it and think, oh, that should be easy because it's flat. But that throws in some complications, because a change in gradient is actually good because you'll start using other muscle groups. So it's going to be a lot of similar flat terrain, and we'll have to figure that out along the way and how we manage it. But everything's moving in the right direction. We're looking to start at the beginning of April. So that would be a full month after finishing the Japan warm-up. So that will be the last big blowout. We're putting together a really good team. Lead crew is going to be Jason Brooks. He was our neighbor in Colorado, but we've been pals for a while now. I met him before I did the America run. He's tight with Robbie Ballinger. Obviously, if you know me, you know Robbie. And the reasons Robbie can't do it this time is because he has a baby girl due in February, which is next month. So massive congrats to him and Shelley. I'm really excited for them. I'm obviously sad he can't come out and do this one with me because he's done everything with me. He came for John O'Works to Land's End, which was the first thing I ever did, and he was the only reason I got through that. because he was the one that told me to keep going when I was totally fucked. And I was like, mate, I'm gonna injure myself even more. And he was like, your body's gonna figure it out. And I just had to trust him because I did. And yeah, that really kicked things off. He also ran across the US. That's when I found him. He did that before I did the UK run. So he did that in 2018, I believe. So it's a shame he won't be there. I don't know if we can try and dissuade him to get out for the end, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, Jason's taken over as lead crew. He's a former military guy who was in the Marines. So he's someone I deeply trust as well. I remember before doing America when I met him, he's quite similar to me in a way where he doesn't say a whole lot. Like, you know, when I'm out there doing it, I don't say a whole lot. He's just got super calming energy, and also having that military background, he's super switched on and locked into systems, and so he's going to be a really positive influence. I know that already. Dino holding the camera is going to be there. We might have one other person on content, depends on what we can figure out funding wise, and then 2 utility people. My old man might come. He said he'll drive, but he also doesn't want the pressure of being locked in to be the driver all the time. Graham's he's retired. He doesn't want to work hard anymore, bless him. But he said he wants to come and drive. And there's plenty of pubs, which was his beef with the America run. He actually came out when we were in the Navajo Nation, which is a dry state. It's a big landmass that crosses various states. It's for the Navajo people, so the Native Americans. That place was unbelievable, and the people were incredible too. But it's alcohol is illegal there, so he was pretty muffed about how he couldn't just go to a bar. He thought there'd be bars everywhere. It looks like there are in Australia, so that's good. So I know my dad will come out at some point. We need to figure out the other utilities. Pete is currently unlikely. Peter John. He was the cook for the last one. We'll see. But otherwise, we're obviously we're looking for people, and again, a lot of we're in the early stages, so there's good interest in what's happening. We've been pitching it, so we know we're going ahead with it. It just depends on what level we can do it. But the main and interesting idea for this one is to live stream the entire thing, and the second tier of that would just to have a live tracker on me at all times, and like a website where you can see exactly where I am at any one time. And I'm gonna try and hit up Elon Musk and get it like injected into my fucking brain, because even on Moab it was claimed that I faked part of it. So you might say, oh, don't give any attention to people say that you're not doing things. But I'm going for a record and I want to. So we're going to do everything we can on this one to bring like a new viewership experience or a new way of following along, and really prove beyond any doubt that what I say I'm doing. So if it's a live stream, amazing. If it's a tracker inserted into my bicep via injection, great. If I have to stream my data live, I'll do that. So just know everything's in the works to make sure it's proven beyond any doubt. But although people probably will still, because losers and could never do it themselves. Oh, did I not say that behind a cough? Well, you're all a bunch of fucking losers, by the way. Yeah, fuck you lot. And the reason I get angry about that is because like it's starting on the US thing, and then they went back in the past and looked at other shit I'd done and said it was all fraudulent. The reason I do it is obviously came from a place of losing my mum. So if you think I'm using her death to my gain in any way, whether it be financial, whether it be fucking clout for doing this stuff or anything else, that's what you're saying, that I'm lying on her behalf, which is totally unacceptable. And if I saw you in the street, I'd fuck you up. So yeah, we're gonna try our best to make sure you understand that it's really happening. And let me just say it one more time, fuck you. Yeah. It's going to be quite the experience. It's going to be a big one. I'm excited about it. And before the America run, I did train a bit, but nothing on this level that I'm dedicating myself to now. So it's time to, for me, the reason I'm going for a record and not just to be the fastest British person to do something or the first to do like leg coma, like that's cool or whatever, but it's not me saying I'm the best at something. So I've been in this game. This will be, what's this, the 4th Libra challenge? Yeah, this will be 8 years that I've really been doing this shit, and for me now it's time to make that step up, to hang my hat on something that's I can say I was the best at that, and I'm gonna be sending it as fucking fully as I can. So I want to make it a record that's hard to beat. If it does get beaten, that's great. I'm also not opposed to that, but I want to beat it this time. And then, yeah, we'll see what the future brings after that. Maybe getting more into race stuff, but it's my niche, I guess. Running across countries. I've done it a few times, and Australia has a special place in my heart. I've kind of been all over. I've even been to Ayers Rock in Queensland. Went to the Great Barrier Reef before it was ruined by too many humans, although it probably still was. Brisbane, Sydney, Perth. I've been all over, so it'll be a really cool experience. And yeah, we're going to be documenting it as best we can. We'll probably be doing a weekly YouTube video again, hopefully live streaming it, as I say. And yeah, everything will be updated on Instagram and TikTok. We'll have a full fucking plan. Yeah, I don't have a tagline for it yet, so if you're still watching this, please put something in the comment of like something that sounds cool, that we might use it. And if we use your tagline, I'll figure out getting you a fucking cool present for it. And you can use ChatGPT, I don't give a shit. Just whatever sounds great and we go with, you'll get a personal present.